Hello students, hope you all are fine and doing well. As you know, in our politics in India since independence book is going on in political science. In our last videos we discussed first and second chapters first part. Our second chapter is going on. The name of this chapter is Era of One Party Dominance. In this chapter, we completed two topics. First one, the establishment of a system of free and fair elections, and the second one, the domination of Congress Party. In this we read how did free and fair election system was set up in India through our independent election commission, and what were the problem in the way of conducting first, second and third general elections. Then how did Congress Party set up its domination in first three elections. So in this topic what we will read, that will be the emergence of opposition parties and their policies. The last part which we discussed in this chapter, we discussed how did Congress set up its dominance in first three general elections which were conducted in 1952, 1957 and 1962. So India is not only the one country to have experienced the dominance of one party. In other countries of the world, we find many examples of one party dominance. But it means in some other countries also there is the dominance of one party. For example, these countries are like China, Cuba, Syria. In these countries, the constitution permits only a single party to rule the country. For example, we will take the example of China. In your previous classes, you read about China. There exists only one party. The name of this party is Communist Party of China, because the constitution permits only a single party to rule in China. So only one party exists in that country. In some other countries like Myanmar, Belarus, Egypt, one party is there. Why there is only one party? Due to legal and military measures. For example, Myanmar. In Myanmar, there was military rule. You read about Aung San Suu Kyi. She played an important role for the setting of democratic government in Myanmar. Then a few years ago, Mexico, South Korea, Taiwan were also effectively one party dominant states. In Mexico, South Korea, Taiwan, इन सब countries में भी एक party जो थी वो dominate करती थी. The dominance of Congress Party in India was there under a democratic condition. Congress Party's domination is there in India, but this is under democratic condition. This was similar to the dominance of African National Congress, which was set up in South Africa after the end of apartheid. You read about apartheid policy followed by the white majority in South Africa, and there was black people which were being discriminated by the white. So one leader played an important role in South Africa. The name of this leader was Nelson Mandela. So as Nelson Mandela became the president of South Africa after so many years, so in this way Congress also set up its dominance in India. PRI, full form of PRI is there, Institutional Revolutionary Party. This party is there in Mexico. Earlier its name was National Revolutionary Party, later renamed as Institutional Revolutionary Party, the PRI. This party also exercised power in Mexico for 6 decades. This party was ruling for 60 years. Elections were held at regular interval and it was the PRI which won every time. ऐसा नहीं होता था कि इलेक्शन नहीं होते थे, इलेक्शन तो होते थे, बट हर 6 years के बाद क्या होता था कि PRI ही इलेक्शन जीतती थी और बाकी पार्टीज एग्जिस्ट तो करती थी, लेकिन बाकी पार्टी सिर्फ नाम के लिए एग्जिस्ट करती थी. सो क्यों जीतती थी ये पार्टी? बिकॉज दिस पार्टी वाज यूजिंग डर्टी ट्रिक्स to win the election. After all, this party lost election of presidential election which was held in 2000, and now in Mexico there is no one party dominance. Other parties also exist and won the election. Congress as a social and ideological coalition. You know कि Congress was formed in 1885 by A.O. Hume. When it was set up, it works as a pressure group. What is pressure group? Pressure group is a group of people of the same interest which wanted to fulfill their objectives. So this was like a pressure group at that time. This was not a party at that time. And this pressure group was there for newly educated, professional and commercial classes to a mass movement in the 20th century. Later on, this party led the mass movement in the 20th century. Later, Congress dominated by English-speaking upper caste, upper middle class and urban elites. But it means that earlier the Congress was dominated by the upper caste and upper middle class and urban upper section of the society. With every civil disobedience movement, it launched its social base widened. When the civil disobedience movement or Dandi March was launched by Mahatma Gandhi, then the social base of Congress party widened, became broadened. Why it became broadened? Because it included all the sections of the society. Example, workers, industrialists, peasants, upper caste, upper class, all these people. Estimated 1 lakh people participated in the civil disobedience movement launched by Mahatma Gandhi. So later on it brought together diverse groups whose interests were often contradictory. The interests were not same of all the section. Their interests were contradictory, but beside this Congress party brought together different or diverse groups. By the time of independence, the Congress was transformed into a rainbow-like social coalition. जब इंडिया को इंडिपेंडेंस मिली तो उस टाइम पे कांग्रेस जो थी वो एक रेनबो जैसी सिचुएशन हो गई थी उसकी, लाइक सोशल कॉलिशन, जिसमें कि सब तरह के, सब कास्ट के, सब सेक्शन सोसाइटी के जो लोग थे वो शामिल हो गए. Many groups based on caste, religion, languages merged their identity within the Congress. So all the section of the society, all the caste, all the religion, all the languages, they merged their identity. अपनी पहचान को उन्होंने कांग्रेस के अंदर ही मर्ज कर दिया. So in this way, the Congress was a platform for numerous groups, interests, and even political parties to take part in the national movement. So in this way, national movement at that time, in national movement, The Congress led the national movement, and in this Congress, so many groups, so many interest sections of the society, and so many parties joined the Congress. What were the different political parties? What were the different opposition parties existed at that time? Now we will discuss about the opposition party. First one was Socialist Party. The Congress Socialist Party, CSP, Congress Socialist Party, was formed within the Congress in 1934 by a group of young leaders who wanted a more radical and egalitarian Congress. What it means, the Congress Socialist Party was formed within Congress in 1934 by young leaders. They wanted a radical Congress. They wanted more reforms, more changes in the Congress. In 1948, the Congress amended its constitution to prevent its member from having a dual party membership. 1948 Congress amended its constitution. Why did they amend their constitution? To prevent its member from having a dual party membership. Dual means two type. The members can't take two type of membership of two party. So when they amended their constitution, then at that time the socialists formed a separate socialist party in 1948. They became separate from the Congress. Ideology of Socialist Party. Socialist Party ideology. The socialists believed in the ideology of democratic socialism, which distinguished them from Congress as well as from the communists. Socialists criticized the Congress for favoring capitalists and landlords and for ignoring the workers and peasants. This Socialist Party wanted that the Congress should not favor capitalists, rich people, rich industrialists or landlords, but they should work for the interest of workers and the peasants. The Socialist Party went through many splits and reunion, leading to the formation of Kisan Mazdoor Party, etc. Some leaders who were members, they were Jayaprakash Narayan, Ashok Mehta, Ram Manohar Lohia and S.M. Joshi. These prominent personalities were the leaders of Socialist Party. Parties like Samajwadi Party, Rashtriya Janata Party, Janata Dal, they are the party at present. These parties trace their origin to the Socialist Party. Beside Socialist Party, the other party which existed and still it is existing in India is Communist Party of India. This party was set up in 1920 and in different parts of the country. This party originated after the Russian Revolution, which took place in 1917 in Russia. And this party wanted that the socialism is the only solution to the problem affecting the country. By socialism, all the problems of India can be solved. From 1935, the communists worked mainly from within the fold of Indian National Congress. But this party separated from Congress Party in December 1941. This party's leaders were A.K. Gopalan, S.A. Dang, P.C. Joshi. All these were the prominent personalities of CPI. This party also formed its government in Kerala. You read about this in this chapter in 1957. But in 1959, this party's government was dismissed by the Congress government from the central government. This party went through a major split in 1964 following the ideological rift between Soviet Union and China. इस पार्टी का 1964 में फूट पड़ गई इस पार्टी में जब सोवियत यूनियन और चाइना के आइडियोलॉजिकल गैप बढ़ने लग गए, आइडियोलॉजी के गैप बढ़ने लग गए, तो इस पार्टी में भी दो पार्ट हो गए। जो एक पार्ट था जो कि सोवियत फैक्शन का फेवर का था, उसका नाम सीपीआई, और दूसरी जो कि सोवियत फैक्शन का सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहे थे, they were opponents and formed their another party, CPIM, Communist Party of India, Marxist. Both these parties continue to exist to this day. आज तक भी ये दोनों पार्टीज जो हैं हमारे इंडिया में नेशनल लेवल की पार्टीज हैं, और इन्होंने महाराष्ट्र और केरला में कई बार अपनी कोलिशन गवर्नमेंट जो है बनाई है। भारतीय जनसंघ, नेक्स्ट अपोजिशन पार्टी इज भारतीय जनसंघ. दिस पार्टी was formed in 1951 with Shyama Prasad Mukherjee at its founder president. 1951 this party formed its government. This party's origin can be traced back to the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh (RSS) and the Hindu Mahasabha before independence. This party was originated from RSS and Hindu Mahasabha before independence. What is the ideology of this party? It emphasized the idea of one country, one culture, one nation, and believed that the country could become modern, progressive, and strong on the basis of Indian culture and tradition. So in this way, this party believed in the India's traditions, cultures, and one nation, one country in this theory. In 1952, it secured only 3 seats in the Lok Sabha, and in 1957 general elections, this party secured 4 seats. The party's leaders include Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, Deen Dayal Upadhyay. This party, जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी आज जो एट प्रेजेंट सेंटर की रूलिंग पार्टी है, उसकी ओरिजिन इसी भारतीय जनसंघ से ही हुई. स्वतंत्र पार्टी, Swatantra Party was formed in August 1959 after the Nagpur session of the Congress. Congress Nagpur session was there in 1959, and this party was formed in August 1959 after this session. This party was also led by old congressmen like C.R. Rajagopalachari, K.M. Munshi, N.G. Rana, etc. This party's ideology, but this party believed, this party wanted the government to be less and less involved in controlling the economy. The government should not interfere too much in the economy of the country. It was against land ceiling in agriculture. It did not want that land's boundary should be fixed by the government and state controlling should be there. It was against the policy of non-alignment. You know what is non-alignment? After the Second World War, when the whole world was divided into 2 parts, one was led by USA, second one was led by Soviet Union. So India did not follow any bloc. India followed the policy of non-alignment. Still today, India is a member of non-alignment. Recently, our Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi attended the video conference of non-aligned movement, and Azerbaijan is the present leader or leading the non-alignment movement. At present, there are 120 member countries of non-alignment. Those who did not join any bloc, one was led by USA, second one was led by Soviet Union. So, but this party's base was very narrow. India had this party had not built a strong organizational network, tolerance and management of fractions. The other next part of our chapter is tolerance and management of fractions. You know कि Congress party has formed its coalition with other parties. So coalition-like character of the Congress gave it an usual strength. What are the characteristics of a coalition? First, a coalition accommodates all those who join it. A coalition accommodates all those who want to join it. Compromise and inclusiveness are the hallmarks of a coalition. The main features of coalition are the compromise. Compromise is there. And inclusiveness are there in the coalition. Second, in a party that has the nature of a coalition, there is a greater tolerance of internal differences and accommodation of various interests. When any party do a coalition, then that party accommodated various interests. For example, Congress accommodated various interests, internal differences. So these groups inside the party are called factions. When some groups are there inside the party and the party formed its government with these coalition, these are known as factions. Same factions were there of the Congress party at state level also. In this way, in the first decade from 1950 to 1960, the Congress acted as both as the ruling party as well as the opposition party. Not only the ruling party but at the opposition party also. That is why this period of Indian politics has been described as the Congress system. Dominance of Congress was there, so this period has been described as the Congress system. Just see the picture on the screen. What does this picture show? Just see one on tree. Some leaders are sitting. Identify these leaders. In these leaders, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru is there. With Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, some other cabinet members are there at that time. And others, just see, and some other leaders trying to topple the tree. They are the opposition leaders like A.K. Gopalan, then Shri Kantan, Sardar Hukam Singh, all these are there. They are trying to topple the tree. So we can say that Congress party was there at that time, but with Congress there were opposition party. We will see the opposition parties feature at that time in our next slide. Emergence of opposition party. In this way, some of the opposition parties other than the Congress had come into being even before the first general election of 1952, which you read in this video, like Swatantra Party, CPI, Socialist Party, all these existed before 1952. Some of these parties played an important role in the politics of the country in the 60s and 70s for maintaining the democratic character of the system. 1960 और 70s में इन parties ने बहुत important role play किया. This kept the ruling party under check and maintaining the balance of power in the politics. So when so many other opposition parties were there, by this the balance of power was maintained by these parties. These parties also groomed the leaders. So we can say the first phase of democratic politics in India was quite unique. First phase in which Congress was there, some other parties were there. That phase was very much unique in the history of India. Just see in the next slide the picture of the opposition leaders and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India. student, just see on your screen. This is a one picture of the cabinet of Pandit Nehru. So earlier there was a lot of mutual respect between the leaders of the Congress and those of opposition. At the time, just see, when the first general election was conducted, Pandit Nehru included opposition leaders like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and Shyama Prasad Mukherjee in the cabinet. And Jawaharlal Nehru often referred to his fondness for the Socialist Party. So we can say who C. Rajagopalachari, B.R. Ambedkar, Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, Jawaharlal Nehru, Hukam Singh, all these were the leaders presented in this picture. So we can say this is the first phase of democratic politics in our country was quite unique. So in this way our chapter is complete, and you were provided 2 assignments earlier. Next assignment will be given to you after the video. All of you are doing very well, so complete your work in your fair notebook, do assignments, try to do objective work of the lesson. So we completed 2 chapters. In the next video we will start our next book, Cold War. We will read about the Cold War in that chapter. And so complete your work, revise the chapter side by side. Thanks.